Today is October 2nd. The Yankees are gearing up for their postseason series, and we're chatting with Boone to get the scoops. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Ooh.
Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. It is brought to you by SeatGeek, where you can go get yourself postseason tickets or tickets to anything. They've got a ton available. If you use code YANKS15, you get 15% off any tickets, whether you're a new customer or not. So go to the app, go to the website. You want to look for green bubbles. That means good value, good price, good value. Red means bad. Just kind of a color coding situation there. Jake, BBD, it is the postseason. The nerves are slowly ramping up for me. Our conversation with Boone just ticked me up more than I was before. I am very excited. How are you feeling?
James, Davis, I'm still good. I mean, I haven't, we haven't seen a team eliminated yet. I will say full disclosure, and this is a hot topic in Yankee land and on Hot Not or Bot yesterday, but if Houston gets eliminated, my scope of the postseason will change. I'm a sports guy, and they've gone to the CS for 7 straight years. If they were to be knocked out by the Tigers, that changes the whole postseason outlook, and that's not even Yankees BS. That's just AL the past 7 years BS. So tracking that, and then once we find out who we play, then it's kind of like,
yeah, that'll be the big moment. Yeah.
Like what does Bobby Witt not hit? Can we pitch around Santander? Like, you start doing those conversations, and that's when it gets real. So I'm not there yet, like, watching the Mets go for it and come back and, knock yourselves out. Mets, the San Diego Yankees that Boone joked about in a little bit. That was kind of fun. Like, go, Mike King, go, Mike King, go.
Go, Mike King, go, Mike King, go.
He'll be back here in like a year and a half or whatever. So, no, I'm enjoying the postseason, and I'm excited to get into the fun. I mean, when that Yankees live stream hits Saturday, you, me, and Joe's in the chairs wrestling around, that's going to be a different feeling, man.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming. If you haven't followed us through a postseason before, because last year there was none, and you're kind of with us for the first time, just going to give you a little rundown of what it's going to look like for you guys and for us. Today we have our Boone interview. Tomorrow we'll probably do, if we find out who we play tonight, we're going to record our ALDS preview tomorrow, which would come out as soon as we're done with it, probably midday.
Yeah. Either way, it'll be like probably the day after we know the matchup.
Yeah. If it goes 3, we'll do a little Hot Not Bot quick show, see what the pressing topics are, and then the preview will come out on Friday. Saturday's the big day. As soon as the lineups come out, we'll do a pregame show. Then we'll be sitting in the live stream lounge on this channel, doing a watch along of the entire game, and then after the game, doing a recap right after. So, and then on and on and on and on we go. It's going to be a lot. If you've been with us before, we appreciate it. If you're with us for the postseason for the first time, we appreciate it. The YouTube channel is at 79,000 subscribers. It's always a slow go on this channel. So if you listen but have not subscribed, you can help us out a ton by doing that. Appreciate it. Enjoy. Come in the live chat. Freak out with us. Be safe in your baseball emotions, because that's what we'll be doing. We'll be freaking out with excitement and fear there. I'm very excited. I'm just saying all those words got me amped up a little bit even more.
It's a fun time of year. If you haven't done some of that stuff with our community, it's electric to be in the pregame show live chat and the live stream. It's for me, it was like a hurdle to get over, because that's not how I consume sports up until that point. And then I did it with some other stuff, like when Joe's was streaming some things and stuff like that. And you're like, okay, I get it now. You get the fan angle and the broadcast. So excited to see you guys a lot coming up, hopefully.
All right, we chatted with Boone. We did I did respect some of the gamesmanship needed to keep some secrets close, but he gave us some good info, some good scoop, thermometer of the team. They got a secret practice going on right now. And we're going to go to that after I tell you about booking.com. Wow. With the MLB postseason upon us, time to explore those U.S. cities you always secretly wanted to learn more about. San Diego seems fun.
Nice.
Hotels, bed and breakfast, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more available to you on booking.com. You might just find your perfect stay for this postseason, even in your baseball rival's city. There's nothing like showing up at your rival's team stadium for a playoff game. I got to do that. I haven't done that. I'd be excited about that. So no matter what team you're rooting for this postseason, booking.com can make you a fan of any U.S. city. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city. Twice said it. Even your baseball rivals. Book today on booking.com and download the booking.com app. Kick it. Hello and welcome back. Bantering with Boone, postseason edition. It's brought to you by Beatbox. Booney, how are the guys feeling?
Good. I mean, there's always that kind of exhale at the end of the season and when you do have the bye. But really wanted to make sure we got across the message of just coming in really focused and how important these days are to prepare. And thought we had a good first day yesterday. Going more game-like today. We got a game at 1:00, so we'll probably have about 6 innings worth today, and then another one tomorrow evening, a little less, probably 4 or 5, and then a little team dinner and a couple more fundamental things we'll mix in. But, got to enjoy all the postseason games yesterday, some good games. Man, some good pitching yesterday. But, just trying to kind of stay focused while also catching our breath and taking advantage of especially a handful of guys that I think will really benefit from a few days off.
You're doing day after night because yesterday was the nighttime practice and scrimmage session, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah. So although yesterday was more of just a standard workout.
Okay.
Garrett threw one live inning at the end of it, but it was more of a workout. So we did some fundamental stuff leading into just a normal BP, and then Garrett threw one live inning.
So do you draw up 2 teams and 2 lineups today?
Yeah, got 2 teams, 2 lineups.
What do we got?
Are we allowed to know that?
Nah.
All right. Are these closed scrimmages, or can the beat reporters be there for them?
Yeah, today's closed.
Oh, okay.
So the beat guys were all here yesterday out on the field and stuff. Today's closed.
So we'll have no footage, no news.
Yeah, I wouldn't think. MLB's got their MLB cam, so I don't know how that works.
Me neither.
It's not like we're hiding anything.
No, I decided that I don't want to get excited about these updates anyway. I've done that in the past.
We're not even thinking about Ben Rice's homer yesterday. We're not even thinking about
Yeah,
that.
I can't do that. So
There's no need.
If Clark is dominant, that's in his nature. He won summer camp player of the summer for 2020.
Oh, that's right. He was. That was our first look at him from the major league side, and he was really good.
So there's a lot of questions our audience is going to want to ask about starting and decisions. I respect the gamesmanship of not giving the Orioles or the Royals any further advice or understanding of who they have to prep for. So I really don't even want to ask who's starting in left. I know you kind of are talking about that. Are there decisions made that you shouldn't share with us? Are there things that are concrete between the coaching staff and the players that obviously, because of the reason I said, you're not going to put out in the public?
Not really. No. There's not much to hide here. Rodon's going to go game 2. We haven't decided yet on game 3 and may not decide for several days, maybe even depending on how game 1 and things like that go.
Would personnel of the opponent come into play there for game 3 as well? Or is there just so many factors?
Yeah. Maybe slightly, but no, we're playing the Royals or the Orioles. So no, that's not going to really change much for us.
And I don't think you'll answer this, but do you have a lean on who you'd prefer to play?
No, I don't. I never do. I'm a careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
that's my always my stance. I even say that to our coaches. I said this in my press conference. They asked me that, and I always say to our coaches, we could be watching a game in May, and it could be like a division rival playing Cincinnati Reds, and they'll be pulling for the Reds or whatever. I'm like, hey, careful what you wish for. You never know. That team may get the World Series and knock us out, or maybe that team in our division gets in and we knock them out. So who knows what you're cheering for?
Are the big decisions Game 3 starter and starting left fielder and starting first base now? Those are the three that you guys are in constant discussion about and tinkering with?
I think so. And then final spots on the bench. Are we going 11 pitchers? Are we going 12 pitchers? Are we going 13 pitchers even? So that obviously affects the position player side of who's on your bench. So those are kind of the things we'll kind of talk through the next couple of days.
I believe in 2022, you went 12 pitchers and 14 guys on the bench for the DS, but you also didn't have, you had less
days off,
but also
we had a rain out. So then we ended up playing like 4 in a row, didn't we?
Yeah, it was kind of messy, but also that lineup had more guys that are playing all 9. The 2022 lineup had more guys that you would mix and match. You could pinch run, you could pinch hit for.
Yeah.
So my guess was going to be you go 13-13, but I guess you don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know that for sure. Yeah, I would say I don't think we'll do 13 pitchers though.
So 12? Oh, you maybe said 11 too.
2 off.
Yeah, 11 or 12.
Okay. What's
Well, that just leaves Rizzo. If you go 11, who could you add on as a position player?
Who's that speedy guy?
Rizzo and Rice? Oh, Duke?
Yeah, you can go a lot of ways. Again, but those are just in the infancy of conversations. Like we'll let that unfold as the week goes on. What's the best way?
What's the final, when does the Rizzo decision have to be made? Is that rosters have to be submitted that morning and hey, Riz, how we feeling? Or what's your guys' process?
We should probably have a good idea by Friday,
okay,
if it's even possible. Again, I still think it's a long shot. But and right now he's not even testing it yet. He's just doing treatments with it. So, we'll have a better idea when he probably starts to test it, maybe a little bit at some point tomorrow. But again, I still view it as a long shot.
With the first base decision and today's scrimmage, is Oswaldo and Rice the 2 first basemen on the 2 teams?
Nice question.
It's actually Rice and Birdie.
Wow.
I got Oswaldo playing shortstop on one of the teams.
Okay.
But then I'll probably move Oswaldo to first at some point, move Birdie to, a position. So I'll move some guys that I want to have, like our versatility guys, get them a couple positions.
Now I know what I say to you doesn't matter at all, but I'm going to take my moment here to just back my guy Oswaldo. I think versus righty pitchers, I cast my vote. If you want to take a +1 to you, if we agree to the table, he's got good numbers against righties this year. And I watched all of his play at first, moved around pretty well. Jazz might test him a little.
I definitely like him over there.
Okay.
The one thing for Oswaldo is he gives you so much flexibility as the game unfolds.
Yeah.
So,
but you could move him around if then Rice goes to first for defense.
All right. But then you got to take somebody out.
Yeah,
so
I get you.
And I'm honestly, I'm not committed to yes or no on it. Oswaldo just gives you so much game flexibility of things you can do as a game unfolds.
Yeah, we're energy guys, man. And Oswaldo, it's tough to match that. Coming out with the fellas on game 1. We'll let you figure that out. We actually wanted to ask you, we'll take some advice from you this time. We're the fans, right? What can we do to help?
You got a message to the crowd in the stadium?
just let it eat. Be Yankee Stadium. Get behind our guys, and make it an intimidating place.
All right, Bronx Zoo.
That's right. That it can. I mean, safely. I don't want us doing anything unruly to opponents. Don't get me wrong, but I know at its best, it can be an intimidating place.
What was that playoff game where Cueto dropped the ball? I think that was in Pittsburgh when the crowd was just going nuts. Okay, let's get that going. Yeah.
Cueto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium doesn't really do that. They just cheer for their own and chants.
Yeah.
I like it. This will be your 34th postseason game as skipper.
Okay.
It's your sixth postseason. What is there any memories reflective on, like, painfully or happily, that you have taken with you as kind of stand out in your mind of like, ooh, let's not do that again, or ooh, I liked that move there. That's different about postseason managing than regular season.
Yeah, I mean, things that stand out are game one against the wild card game against the A's, just with them going opener, Hendricks opening, Judge homer, and right away. Just that's one of those, like, Yankee Stadium got rolling early that night and became an intimidating place. Same with the 19 when we played the Twins and Didi hit the homer with the recoil. And I mean, that place was just going nuts. It was just electric, and you could feel, you feel the home field advantage. When we swept the Twins on the road, that game on the road, there were a lot of really cool big plays that happened that allowed that to happen. Game 6 in Houston was just, just gut wrenching. Obviously, that always sits with me. Even, that night, the next morning, flying home, that all just kind of sits with you. So, I mean, I could take things from everyone, good and bad, that definitely sit with you.
Is there anything different about managing? Obviously, like, everything gets heightened here from the criticism perspective, from the applause perspective. Like, bullpen management is kind of the biggest thing you look at when people think about your performance as manager, the crowd, whether you value that or not. And you don't have to, it's just audience. But
yeah, I mean, that's the nature of the beast. So the losing team is going to make the wrong decision, right? I mean, you should have stayed with this guy. You should have taken this guy out, whatever. So at the end of the day, from my seat, and when you're in it and you're in the arena, you understand that it's two teams going at it and somebody's going to win and lose. You try and be prepared as best you can going in, and try and get your guys in the best positions to do their thing. And then understand the chips fall where they may from there.
Jake Cousins, we kind of, again, on our end, we received what seems like good news, and I don't know where you guys are fully at, but we've seen this in a couple of the past postseasons. Clay was like kind of rehabbing in the playoffs. Like, is Jake Cousins back to where he would be? Like, if it's seventh or eighth inning and there's a righty lane, like, hey, Jake Cousins, you're good, or will he need?
So
okay.
Jake's probably a little more ahead of the game than Clay was in 22. Jake is kind of, now he's still got to get finished off, to the point of he's ready to go in the game. But he threw his bullpen yesterday. That went well. Hopefully recovers well today. He'll throw a live tomorrow. And then if that's good, he'll go into the game. Clay was a little bit more up until the end. We didn't think it was going to be in play. We definitely didn't think it was going to be in play in game 1. And I think it was even the day before he threw his live, and it was good. And we were going to wait till game 2 to activate him, but we decided to go game 1 with the idea that we weren't going to go back to back with him in those first 2 games. And Clay, I mean, he came out and threw the ball great in that series. Like, our bullpen was huge in that series against Cleveland. So just based on memory, I feel like Cousins is probably a little ahead in a little shorter time being down than Clay was. And knowing our timeline, we've kind of built Cousins towards that timeline. Whereas with Clay, it was a little more touch and go in 22, whether he was going to be back in time or not.
Okay.
I am excited.
Oh.
Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I wasn't excited because it wasn't real yet. It was too far away. We still don't know the opponent. Like once we find out who you guys are playing, I'm gonna really start getting antsy and jittery. How do you feel about this current format? Like, do you feel that winning the division, being the best team in the American League, obviously going to a 3-game set is the risk there is worse than winning and the layover. But do you think there's a better way to do it than having such a layover and then having all the off days in between the DS?
Look, there's no perfect way, and this isn't perfect, but I don't think you can have a perfect system unless you go, less amount of teams again. So, and I think the more teams involved has probably been a net good thing. So, look, whatever happens, whether we win in advance or don't, I think too much will be put into the layoff. Like, that won't be the reason. I mean, could it be a factor to some degree? Maybe. But I think it can benefit us just as much as it can hurt us. And in the end, I don't think it's the difference either way. One team's going to come out of it. The reality is all 12 teams, as we've seen the last couple of years, as we've seen in game one, these road teams winning, it's anyone's game. I mean, I don't think anyone would be overly shocked if any of the 12 teams got hot and advanced.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like is the off day after game one, which then in the American League Series then allows them to reset their rotation a little bit. Like, if you don't have that off day, it's much more of a advantage to have Cole and Rodon to be able to go 2, where, say, it's Reagan's, Burns, they can still go 2 in the series. It would be 2 and 5 instead of 1
Yeah,
and 4.
but they could go 2 if you went back-to-back because they started Tuesday. So they would be on their 5th day Sunday, for example.
So if it was Saturday, Sunday, they would go,
Yep.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
You got any, we were laughing earlier. You liked our turtlenecks. It's postseason. Things are a little different. Is there any,
Do they change the meal plan?
is there any good dude stuff going around the team right now? Like, is Cole walking around and he ends every conversation with like postseason? Or like any antics going around with our Yanks right now?
Superstitions?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's pretty business as usual. I would say the guys are focused, though. We tried to, pound home that the importance of these days, and I think they realize that, and had a good day of work yesterday, and I think they view it that way today.
Were you upset with Austin Wells for popping his champagne in the middle of your speech? You're trying to build to a crescendo.
Yeah, a little
there.
bit.
Yeah. Stealing the stage a little bit.
Yeah. So, but that's okay.
We'll let that be in the past.
As long as it's when we're popping champagne, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Have you seen what Jake Rogers is rocking on the Tigers these days, look-wise?
Oh, yeah. Sheriff Rogers.
Holy smokes, man.
Yes. Yeah. He's been rocking that for a while, though.
What's Wellesley think about that? Is that competition? Is that brothers in arms? Like, it's intense, man.
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, Austin's more in the, he's the missing Jonas brother. And
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
All right. Should I do trivia?
I've got one more lame one. Are you doing? Because you're talking focus. It's postseason. We're the Yankees. Like, I love that. Is there anything? I guess this is like high school sports, but like, are we doing like a pasta dinner tonight and watching the games or anything? Like a little light team bonding?
It's team dinner, right?
Tomorrow night we have a team dinner. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, with families and stuff. So.
Ah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're doing a later workout tomorrow, and then right after we'll do team dinner.
8:15. Is that not okay?
A little earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got the trivia, Jim?
I got the trivia. I pivoted from the trivia for a new one. Trivia is presented by Beatbox. Beatbox is the perfect pairing for a Yanks game. Do yourself a favor and hit the link in the description to find Beatbox near you. Boone, how many players played in yesterday's wild card games that you managed?
So we got half the Padres roster. So Padres, does Tyler Wade count?
I didn't count him because he didn't play.
didn't
But
Play. So King and Higashioka.
yes.
Gosh, who was on Atlanta? Mets, Sevy,
Yeah.
Urshela,
Yep.
Jake Bowers.
Yep. That
How
game,
many is there?
that game actually had the most because
How many is there?
you're missing two more. And one is from the Mets Brewers series.
So it was a sneaky one.
But these are hard because this guy didn't get an at bat.
Does
And
Perkins count?
wow, I did not count Perkins.
Not count Perkins. Same, similar.
Oh, the catcher. No.
Who's that?
Who? Oh, Torrens?
No.
Defensive
Didn't play
replacement.
yesterday.
One was a defensive replacement yesterday.
Oh, Bader.
And then you had someone you managed this year. He only threw one pitch.
In that game?
No, in the first game yesterday.
Ferguson.
Ferguson. A one pitch outing for him. One pitch and then a pickoff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Yankees were everywhere. You also had Mendy. You were his manager. Do you consider
Yes,
yourself
I was.
managers of coaches? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you and Espada never crossed paths, but Espada was with the Yankees for a while.
Yep.
And then Kay and Todd Frazier were calling game 1, and Coney was calling game 4, all Yes Network guys. So it was kind of everywhere.
Yeah, we're all over the place. Who knew? Well, you guys know.
How'd you feel about
I didn't know.
watching King do that? That was pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what he's capable of. So I wasn't surprised. The only person less surprised than us was probably Michael King. I didn't see a bunch of that game because I was actually listening to it on my drive home, and I saw a little bit pieces of. That's probably the game I saw the least amount of. I listened to a good portion on the radio on my drive home, but
He was nasty.
yeah,
Like, it was the best.
So that's right there. The reason
Yeah.
we talked about it was really hard to part with him because we know what he is.
And Higgy popped a homer at the end, so that was fun.
He homer, sack, fly too, right?
Yeah,
He's had a great year.
1 for 2 with two RBIs. And then Sevy got in trouble in the first, but escaped. Ended up going 6 innings.
I mean, how huge was that coming off of what they went? They were probably desperate for some length, even if you had to wear it to some degree. But for him to, finish the way he did in the 5th and 6th for them was huge and kind of reset them a little bit. That was a big win for them.
You text Mendy at all?
I texted them after on their way to Milwaukee. So after they got in, but I didn't text them after yesterday yet.
He's got that group doing some special stuff. It's pretty wild.
They are. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They got a lot of confident players, and that are performing. That's a big inning they put together. Some good at bats, some good gritty at bats. Took advantage of a couple of plays not made and ran with it.
I was doing some research on teams that have the highest percentage of big innings. Means you score 3 runs or more. The Mets are third in that ranking over the course of the regular season. And so far,
wow.
161, they had a 6-run. Then in that game, they had a 3-run inning and a 5-run inning. The Brewers are actually number 1. So that series,
Really? Yeah.
yeah.
Who's 2?
2 is the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks offensively really
The
good.
Diamondbacks led the world in runs, right?
Yep.
This year.
Yeah, they were number 1 in runs per game.
Second.
Yeah, you guys were 5th in big inning percentage, but you're 2nd in answer back. So you gave up a run. You put runs on the board yourselves the very next half.
Okay.
I like that. Yep. Cool. All right. Well, enjoy the scrimmage today. Make sure no one gets hurt.
Good luck, man.
Send us an
Thanks,
iPhone
man.
video.
Enjoy the playoffs.
We will.
To a
Be
degree.
fun. Yeah. See you, Booney.
Boone Postgame is brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. After 162, literally, it's time for some October baseball and get in on the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Parlays to live odds, live betting and odds boost. DraftKings has it all. And if you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, new customers use promo code YANKS. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code YANKS only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. And true story, and you guys know us pretty well, during our live streams and stuff, I think it's the most fun time to play some bets. And we usually get a little silly with them and have some fun. So if you're live streaming with us, come for the ride.
Come for the ride. All right, so that was Boone. Postseason with Boone. Postseason hasn't really started yet for the Yankees, but it is the postseason. Anything stand out for you?
The way that they're talking about Rizzo, especially after the Vinny Pasquantino. If people don't know, Vinny Pasquantino, who's been out for the Royals, but he was out for like over a month, kind of was a surprise in the lineup playing first base and batting third. The way they're talking about Rizzo is either set up to be one of their all-time Yankee ahas, or, Rizzo's just out and we need to...
Yeah, that's where I
that.
am.
Yeah.
I think he's just out. I think they're letting Rizzo tell them and prove it. You remember when Hicks sent a video of him playing catch and was like, I'm good. And then they were like, okay, we told you not to do that, but sure,
Now
you're
you're on the
good.
team.
And then he hits a home run off Verlander off the pole. So they're allowing that wiggle room, but he's not even doing anything yet. So it's not, I think they're allowing that to be open for down the road, not for the DS. Like, I even think if Rizzo makes a big case for the DS, they'd be like, no, dude, like if we advance, then let's see where you're at there.
That's where I guess I don't know how hand bones heal. And maybe it's just the smart move for them to be like, no.
Yeah. But Oswaldo gets got by his versatility because now Boone,
like
he's
a
not
little
saying he's just making both points in the conversation.
Right.
But that stinks for Oswaldo. Too good at all of the positions to start at one.
Yeah, it's obviously not closed off, and he said that.
Yeah.
If you bring in Oswaldo off the bench, you have to burn a player. So if he's already in the game, that's kind of not a great argument for me. I don't know.
You would burn, like, say they start Rice, and then you bring Oswaldo in.
Someone still gets burned.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not an argument.
It's not like you have to burn two players.
Yeah, correct. So I don't know. I don't think that ruled out Oswaldo, but again, maybe the Yankees are viewing it as like a long postseason where if Rice can be used, then you can use Oswaldo elsewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't just start him. And they may. Left field, again, I totally understand. At this point in the season, I understand and appreciate the gamesmanship. During some of the regular season series, I'm like, guys, you can just not be honest here.
Yeah.
But I do like that. There were some quotes yesterday that made me lean Verdugo again.
Right.
So I reserve the right to change my mind as always. And now I am reading their tea leaves and Verdugo starts. But because the quote was, no matter what, Jason Dominguez is going to have a big role on this team.
Right.
And he didn't say, no matter what, Verdugo is going to have a big role on this team. But he could have just been asked about Dominguez. Who knows?
And I don't know. I would still go back to Dominguez left field disaster day, and then they played him all 3 games in left field, right?
Yep.
So you'd like to think that's the way it's going, but Phew. No nerves yet.
I kind of got him during that convo. But that's why I don't care about I do not care about the Rice homer off call. We kind of joked about it, but I've been swooped up in that shit in past seasons. And now I fully I don't care. I don't even want to hear about it. Like, I'm happy this scrimmage is not being covered. I don't want it to change my sentiment or mood at all.
Right. Okay.
Yesterday, Kyle was telling me all the updates from the beat reporters from like the practice, Cole and all that stuff. And I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want this to be in my brain because it does not mean, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. It should not affect their decisions.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for joining. We'll see you later. Go Yanks. Telegrams.
Go Yankees.
Bump, bump.